All right, hello and welcome to the Ukrainian Cup, sponsored by Sniper StarCraft League and Hot-Headed Gaming. My name is Just Jordan. You'll have to forgive my voice a little bit through this cast. I'm coming off of being a little under the weather, but I definitely felt up to it this week, so we're going to get some games cast. I believe we have 4 series today, including one of those upper bracket semifinal matches as well. We're going to be doing Night Phoenix versus Rostock today, and I think that's how we're going to end off the night, if I'm not mistaken. Most of the other matches are going to be, the remaining 3 matches are going to be on the lower bracket. So we're going to head there first, and then we're going to end the day on Night Phoenix versus Rostock. Looking at what we have coming up, looks like the first one is going to be Demaga versus Papa Strek. It's going to be a ZVP. This one ought to be good. You know, Demaga is one of those players that I personally have been casting for years. You know, he's a staple of the StarCraft community, been around a while. Not sure how active he's been lately. He is fighting his way through the lower bracket. I don't know why this is refreshing this weird way, but it looks like, yeah, he won his group. I think everybody that won their groups won them without dropping a map too. It was really crazy how group stages went with this tournament. So he got seeded directly into the upper bracket quarterfinals, and ultimately got taken out by Rostock, who is still fighting his way through the upper bracket. I believe this will be Demaga's first lower bracket match. Yeah, it'll be his first lower bracket match. So we'll see how things go here. We are in the playoffs, so things are starting to heat up. Game 1 is going to be on Ancient Cistern. Let's go ahead and get into the action. Excuse me, that was like a mic check. Oh man. Spawning in the upper right of Ancient Cistern, the blue Zerg player, he is Demaga. And in the bottom left, the orange Protoss, Papa Strek. Now, we have noticed from casting some of these games in the past, we have second probe going. Might have been a miss micro. Weird way to start the game off. Ooh, this is in the fog of war, so we'll see how this goes from here. It is pull first out of Demaga though, so it looks like either he planned something aggressive himself, or he's suspecting or expecting something like this out of Papa Strek. Let's keep a close eye on how how this shakes out. Yeah, I just checked. It looks like Papa Strek does not have a Wikipedia page, so we're not going to have a whole lot of information on him. But the cannons aren't going down. Flanked by gateways. Cannon on the high ground as well. All this is getting scouted out now by the Overlord. There should be some Zerglings out at least to stop the high ground portion of this, but maybe not. I believe this cannon's going to cover the one on the high ground. Nope, not completely. Yeah, if he loses his high ground access, I mean, like, this is this is better. Ooh, a little risky running that probe in there. Cancels the other gateway last minute. I'm assuming so we can get that, no, cancel on this cannon. You know, in a build like this, on a cannon rush like this, you're definitely going to have to make sure that you're not throwing away units like this. Yeah, the cancels are fine. But every cancel is giving away, what, 37 minerals? And he's only picking off 1 Zergling a piece, which is like 25. And Roach is already out. We have not been looking at the Demaga's side of this, but he's already prepared to deal with this. And it looks like he's just going to deal with the cannon straight up. He's like, I got the DPS to knock this down, so I'm not even going to wait for Ravagers. He's going to try to save the hatch, too. Looks like he's going to be able to. The Roaches are going to win the day here. The ults are not going to be popping fast enough. He even tries to focus down the lower HP Roach. That's just not going to be enough. What does he have back at home? Cybercore is down. Oh, he's building shield batteries. This is never where you want to be as the aggressive Protoss player. Yeah, at this point, it looks like it's just going to be a fairly standard game from Demaga, one where I would even argue that he's pretty far ahead. Hatchery's alive. Worker counts are even, but there's no second Nexus here for Papa Strek. So that worker production is going to be severely hampered. Stargate could get him back into this game, but something tells me he's going to go Void Ray first just to make sure that these roaches don't march across the map and end the game. They are slow roaches, but they are going to be heading that way. Nope. Looks like they're just scouting for other proxy shenanigans. We're just heading home. I'm looking to get back into this game, and it's going to be an uphill battle for her. He's going straight into air weapons with these Void Rays, too. See how this works out for him. So definitely pick off an Overlord or two. Lair coming down, so it's going to be 2 base Lair. Honestly, seeing Void Ray. Or Zerglings popping out too. This is probably just going to be to pressure the low ground expansion here. But the cannon shield battery setup should be fine to push this away. Maybe. These Lynx would have to... Oh, I guess they could completely bypass this and just pressure the probes. Yeah. And that is exactly what they'll do, trying to get a couple probe kills. Looks like they're going to get 3 definitely before heading into the main base for free. Going to go for more probe kills. There's nothing in production on the Stargate 2. The Void Ray is a million miles away. And the probes are going to have to stand and fight, but not before receiving significant more losses. 11 probes in all go down. For that light of a commitment, too, that is absolutely huge. It is going to be Spire. I was wondering this. Hydras are going to take a little bit longer, I think, to power up and get across the map. But if he goes Mutus here, Mutus in high enough number could really shut this down, really get the mobility to at least keep Papa Strek at home, if not just completely decimate the worker count more so than it already is. Good lord, only 28 probes on the map so far. Yeah, just 1 carrier times 2 base carrier. All right, well. See how things go here. Lane counterattack went so well the first time. Let's just go ahead and see how it goes this time. 3 Queen should be more than enough to shoo this away. It's going to get some chip damage done on that 3rd hatchery. Plus 2 air weapons started as the first carrier pops. Chronoing out the upgrades too. That's an interesting decision. I feel like you'd want more units here. Upgrades are going to get diminishing returns, considering you have exactly 2 units in the air. Not counting interceptors, of course. The manga should see this, and he should feel like he's in a great position. Yeah, he's got 6 corruptors on the way. Got 4 gases up and going versus 2 for the carrier player. So yeah, I believe that this game is going to be over rather quickly. Her base trying to go down. Damaga on top of it. Gets the probe. Maybe going to get one of these assimilators. Is there a unit in production? This... What on earth? Making more Void Rays. Mog says, well, hell, I'll get my upgrades too. Raptors going across the map. I know they're going to want to... Oh my gosh. Carriers just go down so fast. Yeah, and then he can just leave. He could take this, but he could just leave. Resetting the carrier count is huge. And honestly, there's going to be so many more corruptors out here soon that it's just not going to matter. Papa Strek only just now recently got his 3rd and 4th gases mining. We're still on 1 Stargate. There's the 2nd Stargate dropping now. If he gets the Lings back on top of this base, like there's nothing here. Corruptor's gonna make sure of that. 3 Void Rays with Flux Veins, I believe that upgrade will stop completing. We see the, what is that, Prismatic Alignment go down, and the Corruptor's like, nope, I'm just gonna back off for a second, let that wear off. Now that I can see that that's about to be gone, we'll just come in, clean this up. That should be game. Game 1, Damaga. Slow and steady, having control of the game for basically the entire time, not really faltering as a result of that cannon rush. And then, yeah, showing that he's got the skills to pay the bills here in game number 1. Game number 2 is going to be on Grezvon, so we're going to head right into that. Like we said before during game 1, Papa Strike doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so he's a bit of, you know, an unknown here for me personally. All right, let's get into game number 2 right away. It's going to be on Grezvon. Spawning in the bottom right, the orange Protoss is Papa Strike. And in the upper left, the blue Zerg, he is Damaga. Now, Damaga does have a Wikipedia page. Sorry, there's like street racing or something going on outside my house. Damaga does have a Wikipedia page. We can see that he is currently 36 years old. I think he's the first player that I've casted on since my return that's been older than I am. He's currently representing Berserker. Total approximate winnings of $78,000. So he's been doing this for a long time. Currently representing Berserker. Of course, Berserker appears to be based in the UK. As Battlebee Gamer Richie, guy I haven't heard about in a long time, and Spats. Nice. Players have cast before. Oh my gosh. I didn't foresee the cannon rush here in game 2. I didn't think that was going to be a thing. Wait, is it? No, it's just gateways and pylons. No, where the heck is the forge? Oh, the forge appears small on this mini-map. All right, well, once again, we have Roachborn already on the way here for Damaga, but there wasn't a cannon in range of this hatchery. He cancels at the last second. I guess he's just going to go build it somewhere else. Yeah. So slight deviation in this game. We'll see if Papa Strike can turn it around. Did get Lings out, though. If they can get this pylon, that would be absolutely huge. No, I guess they're just going to go for pro kills at this point. Pylon seems to be a bigger deal. It's going to be a cyber core. Warp gate's going to be delayed. Pro's being pulled. I mean, these guys can just run away at this point. Nope, I guess they're going to stand and fight. That's such a huge pro pull. Yeah, I would just run away. This is so much lost mining time. Like, there's nothing here. Meanwhile, at home, Roach is being built. Damaga macroing. Yeah, eating up a lot of mining time here. Cannon finally going down. I think that'll be sending these back to work now. Now that he is, you know, basically completely broke. Meanwhile, this proxy thing, it's been like a mild contain. Damaga still managed to take his base at a more down here. He's gonna have Roaches and Ravagers to bust out of this. This is gonna be what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 650 minerals. That all they did was move a hatchery. This is all this did was move a hatchery. So we'll see if that commitment was worth it, especially considering the Papa Strike doesn't have his natural expansion down yet either behind this. And then as soon as these roaches and ravagers are done here, they're going to be moving across the map for sure. Three links still out on the map. But they scout. Oh, the gateway got moved. Or got canceled. Interesting decision. Guess he decided he needed those minerals for something else. The Overlord is going to spot that fall off the ground hole. Overlord also going to catch this Stargate. Stargate's up, but it's not researching anything. Oh, there it goes. Void Ray just starts. All right, the contain is done. Third base going down where the second base should be, and I believe these guys are going to go across the map. Just the bile is enough to put pressure, and because of where this cannon is, I believe that the roaches and ravagers can all start picking away at the cybercore before this finishes. There is going to be a Void Ray out, though, so unfortunately they're on a time limit. I think the manga realizes that, yeah. Player coming down. The way that Tamaga is playing against this guy, it feels like he's familiar, you know? Like he was like, okay, I played against this guy before. I know his MO. I'm wondering if they've played in ladder, or maybe they were in the same group. No, they were not in the same group. Void Ray trying to pressure base right here. Not really sure it's going to be able to get much done, but there's another huge Ling counterattack being geared up. There is a probe plugging the hole. But there's no warp gate. Oh, that shield battery could not have come at a better time. But I feel like just one bile, right? Now that you're going to risk the Ravager with Void Rays on the map. Queens should be able to bat this way. We'll see if Papa Strek is one of those Protoss players who thinks that prismatic alignment will do bonus damage versus Queens. Bonus damage, or Queens, of course, has that point of armor without the armored tag, which means they're not going to take any bonus damage from that prismatic alignment. A little bit of a deviation here. We're going Spire and Hydroden. I wonder if the Hydroden is just for lurkers in case later, or what, but we'll see how it goes. I wouldn't mind seeing him go into mutas. I realize they're not going to deal with the carriers as well, but they'll definitely clear out the Void Rays a lot better. Nice micro here from Tamaga. Is going to shove away at these Void Rays, causing one a pretty significant amount of hull damage as well. This guy in particular is going to have to watch his back. Void Ray fleet going to move on into the main. 3 queens here waiting. There is transfuse energy left. He's going to have to be very careful if he doesn't want to lose that one. He does end up losing the one. Some of these queens are down here on the low ground. This is 2. Looks like he's going to lose 3 queens for this. Hydra's being built. Spire was allowed to complete, but it's just Void Rays here. Ling's harassing the third base. 2 Void Rays here to clear it. I don't know if the Lings are going to have enough DPS. It doesn't look like it. He hasn't lost any Void Rays yet. Nice little picks here, keeping the Hydra count low. He's getting flyer attacks, though. I've got to say, Papa Strike here in game 2. It looks like, you know, it feels like he woke up. you know, game number 1, he was slipping in a lot of ways. During his cannon rush, he lost at least 1 building without a cancel. Shield upgrades on the Forge. And being chronoed, too. So he's looking to power up this Skytoss army big time. A big ball of Hydras. Let's see if they have a... What is that? Muscular augments. They don't groove spines yet. That's only about halfway done. Gonna make fighting up a ramp in particular very difficult without groove spines. Into cannons and shield batteries, and this is just not an engagement you could ever hope to take. Yeah, this attack path in particular is definitely a no-go zone. Yeah, looks like Demago knows that, and he's going to want to rotate around up north here. Infestation Pit coming down. Roach Speed. Groove Spine's finally finishing. Baneling Nest coming down just in case. So Demago getting all of the possible answers here. Looking to bait up a green beam. Gonna go ahead and back off. I'm assuming to wait for a couple of reinforcements. Unfortunately, some of the pathing was wonky. We see these Hydras right here. They were about to head right into that line of cannons. Baneling speed as well. So just in case there's a Zealot transition underneath these Void Rays, Demago will have the answer ready. Hive on the way as well. So yeah, Demago not messing around once all of his options open here. Maybe we'll see some Parabombs. They'll be great against Void Rays like this. It's a lot of Hydras. If he could pick off the Stargate here, that would be huge. I don't expect the Void Rays to take a direct fight. Ooh, picking off upgrades as well. Yeah, these are 2 huge picks just right in the wall. Stargate goes down. Production facility for the Protoss player that definitely costs gas. And then an upgrade gets killed as well. Lesser known fact, if I'm not mistaken, if a building is upgrading, when it dies, you do not get refunded for that upgrade either, unless you cancel it. If you cancel the upgrade, you get a 100% refund. But if you don't cancel and the building dies, you just lose that money. I'd have to go test it to be sure, but I'm like 90% sure that is how that interaction works. And that was +2 air weapons too, so it was not a cheap one. Demago's going to want to pressure this area right now. Definitely too much in the air for him to take this fight, but any buildings that he kills at this point are going to be a boon. Oh, maybe he doesn't think so. Void Ray count is going down. And at this point, I think Demago doesn't want it to... is less concerned with favorable trades. He just wants to trade anything out right now. Anytime he can get the Void Rays to fight is going to be doing him benefit. Colossi here. Double Colossi. Not sure that this is the choice. Thermal Lance is not quite extended just yet. But the base does go down. Demago's going to be able to retreat. And what does things look like on Demago's side? He's got his 5th base up, not mining yet. He just killed 19 probes. +3 missile attacks. Adrenal glands coming in. +2 flyer attacks. He's even built a flying unit. Not that I've seen. Yeah, GG is called. Well, there wasn't even a fight going on in that moment. He just knew that his days were numbered. And Demago is going to take the series 2-0. All right, as always, we are going to go to a short break here. We do run 2 minutes of ads in between every series just to make sure that new people coming into the stream don't get pre-roll ads. So sit tight. We'll be right back with some more Ukrainian Cup. All right, we are back with more of the Ukrainian Cup, presented by Sniper StarCraft League and powered by Hot Headed Gaming. My name is Just Jordan. If you guys are just joining the stream and you guys are enjoying this coverage of the Ukrainian Cup, please consider dropping the channel a follow. In my opinion, best way to support it so you can come back here and find the stream in the future. We are going to be moving on, however, to a TVT. Going to be one of those lower bracket games that we were just talking about. Gyros versus UFO. Down lower bracket round 1 is going to be that third game down. The winner here moves on to that lower bracket round 2 against Sunset. Map number 1 is going to be on Babylon. So we're going to hop right into that. I believe this is going to be, again, another match where both players are complete unknowns. Actually not. One of them does have a Wikipedia page, so we'll be talking about that. It's Gyros. UFO does not. So it's worth noting Gyros and UFO are both the players that qualified below Damaga in Group D. So these players have definitely faced off in this tournament before. It looks like in their head-up match, Gyros took out UFO 2-0. We'll have to see if he has similar luck here in the playoffs. Let's go ahead and hop into game number 1. Spawning in the bottom right, the blue Terran, he is UFO. In the upper left, the red Terran, he is Gyros. Maybe you guys noticed that beautiful hot-headed logo above Gyros. He is representing the team that is sponsoring this shindig here. Gyros is a Ukrainian Terran player, of course. His approximate total winnings 349. So definitely a new kid on the block. Looking at his previous teams, I don't really see anything there. Back in June of last year, he won an in-house cup for GDA. Let's see. GDA team, in-house cup. Usually I'm joined with my my co-caster Ward, who is a Terran extraordinaire. Unfortunately, he could not be here with me today. But usually I would lean on him a little bit for deep knowledge of this matchup. Something that he can call a mile away. I'm but a meager Zerg player, so Terran versus Terran is a bit of an enigma today. Or a bit of an enigma to me. UFO heading out with 2 Reapers. He's got a tech lab on the factory going into Cyclone. Hellions out here for Gyros. Looks like these Reapers are going to be able to pick off an SCV, maybe 2, before they get out. Looks like one might not even make it out. No, paid for his life. Paid for with his life. I believe that SCV is going over there actually to build a depot to scout that exact thing happening. So, a little late on that front. We do know UFO is building a Cyclone. Yeah, there it is. Straight into tank. So it doesn't look like UFO is interested in being aggressive at all at this point. UFO hanging on the tall grass. That'll give him like an extra shot or two. I'm not sure it's going to be enough to take that engagement should it happen. Reactor Marine production here out of UFO. Same. Medevac as well. Ooh. So Jared's looking to be aggressive. I'm assuming he's going to push with all of this. So this could be a huge pick. If this Cyclone... Oh, the lock-on gets baited by something else first. Ooh, a little bit of a hot pickup. Kills everything. Yeah, he didn't lose a single unit in that bout. Once again, picking up the units that he had grabbed initially. Marine tank picks it up, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to find his way in. He could elevator it into the top here. We'll see how that goes. Dropping the tank. Is he going to be able to save it, though? I don't think so. Does win the engagement overall. Let's see what he gets for that. One SCV so far is it. Also a Raven. Just picks up and moves away from the auto turret and is still considering to wreak havoc back here. Only 3 SCVs go down. A lot of them badly bruised back here. And at the same time, Raven harassed down here at the natural gets, what, 2, maybe 3? Just 2 more worker kills. The drop in the main. Back on the ground. Jaro's showing he can do a lot with a little here. Before you know it, this Raven's going to have enough energy for another auto turret, and it's going to be hopping back in there as well. Trying to see how many more workers. Oh my god, this has got to be the most annoying thing. One Marine and a medevac is just causing you so much problems. So yeah, we see her UFO. UFO now on a supply block. Is he trying to move out right now? No, can't be. Well, 3 tanks versus 2. We'll see how it goes. That is a lot of auto turrets, though. Yeah, that's just going to be too much, I think. Ooh, nice. Interference matrix. We'll pick up micro on these tanks. UFO looking to be a little aggressive. Pushes Jaros all the way back, but Jaros is on 3 bases, almost fully mining now. I don't even think there's a 3rd base at all here. Yeah, there's not a 3rd CC at all here for UFO. There, it just starts on location, but he's going to have an uphill battle ahead of him. He's 9 workers down, an entire orbital command down. Took a nice engagement on the front there, but I don't think it was pivotal enough to really turn the tides of this game. Bit of defensive posturing out of UFO. Meanwhile, Jaros has just been free to play his game. We see +1, or we see, what is this? I can't tell by the freaking colors, man. 1-1 coming down. 1-1 coming down for Jaros. Setting up his infrastructure, just macroing his little heart out. I don't think UFO's been on his side of the map at all, not since those first 2 Reapers. Killed one puny SCV, and that was all. Jaros so confident, dropping his 4th base down on location. While making a push through the middle of the map. 4 tanks. Several Vikings. What is the air control looking like here for UFO? Nothing. We have Marines, tanks, and 1 medevac. And that is it. Nothing else in the air. No Ravens left. No Vikings. he just unsieges tanks right before the fight begins too. Jero's not taking the best fight, if I'm being honest. There are tanks in the natural showing the way at the SCVs here. Seven more workers have been killed so far. More going down as this tank shells away at that mineral line. We're down to 2 tanks here for Jeros, but he's even taking his 5th base now, so he must feel really confident about his position in this game. Yeah, Doom just goes for it. Finally, some Vikings being produced. If I was UFO, I've got to be thinking, I've got to get across the map and get something done. The fact that he felt comfortable throwing away that much stuff, maybe he's going to be way behind, he's going to have a lot of bases, and I definitely need to get one of those picked off ASAP. There's a drop in the main base here for UFO. Picking up a little bit more resources. Ooh, my gosh. Apparently he's able to pick up a lot more resources. It looks like only 4 SCVs survived. 30 have gone down so far this game. And Jero's just stimming on top of these unsieged tanks. None of them will have sieged in time. And yeah, I believe that was the end of that game. Jeros takes game 1. Yeah, I believe that I missed that drop in the main base during the big fight at the front there. Because we went from 12 workers killed to 31 in the blink of an eye. So that drop must have got in and got a ton of work done before it was ever responded to. Definitely going to need to see better multi-prong defense out of UFO in game number 2. Game number 2 is going to be on Dragon Scales. Night Phoenix in chat. Hello, Night Phoenix. Been casting your games here and in the OSC Elite Rising Star as well. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. It is a beautiful, immaculate, sunny Sunday here in Florida. Definitely, I'm going to need to get outside and soak up some of that sun here after the cast. All right, we're on Dragon Scales for game number 2. Spawning in the bottom right for Hot-Headed Gaming, he is Jeros. And in the upper left, the Blue Terran, he is UFO. Just a quick reminder while this game gets underway that you can use !Matcherino in the chat to bring up a link to this tournament's Matcherino page. There are plenty of ways that you can support the tournament that don't involve your credit card at all. It's usually as simple as following a Twitter account or subscribing to a YouTube channel. And just those few clicks can add some dollars to the prize pool, and every dollar counts. Sniper StarCraft League would also like to remind everybody that every dollar added through Matcherino is going to go straight to the players. 100% is going to be paid out to participants of the Ukrainian Cup. So I've said it before in previous cast, Dragon Scales, if you're not paying attention because the way the paths are set up down the middle of this map, where's the big zoom? That was it. Shift C. Okay. Because the way that the pathing is set up down the middle of this map, if you're not paying attention, your army could be splintered off. Like if you send it directly south from here, some of the army might take this path, some of the army might take that path. And if you end up taking an engagement when your army is splintered like that, it could be catastrophic. So you got to be very careful with army control in the middle of this map. Pretty similar builds here out of JR. So we're still going with the Tech Lab. No, not the Tech Lab factory here from UFO. Going something a little bit more standard. The Reaper Hellion here to open. Very common here in TVT to see some variation of Reaper Hellion turn into a skirmish here with, 4 to 5 units. I will say that Jairus' naturals somewhat far behind. He did opt for that starport a little bit faster. The UFO, if UFO takes at least a half decent trade here at the beginning, he's going to be looking at a decent, pretty sizable advantage here moving into mid game. See how it goes though. There's a medevac here. That's the benefit of getting this starport early. These units are going to start off in the middle of in the main base of UFO, and he's going to have a decision to make while his army's been mapped. Do I come back and defend, or do I just go across the map and see what damage I can get done? Straight into the main base. And it looks like a lot of these SCVs are going to go down. We'll try to keep a close eye on what's going on the other side of the map as well. These units rendezvous. Looks like they're going to kill most of these Marines as well. And now it's going to just be able to see who comes out with more workers. Right now, UFO's already down to 6. Cyclone here going to try and save the day. Definitely going to need to get some repairs on that thing. It does ultimately get cornered, but there's so much time spent watching it, My only concern is that there's not really anything in production here for Jaros. I guess he doesn't have any money. Just have 2 Marines trying to chase this force around, and every time that Hellion fires, yeah, finally the Hellion goes down. That was a real scare here. UFO still doesn't have control of his base. Oh yes, Reapers in a medevac. Jairus just trying to keep UFO busy and on his side of the map, but he's already done so much damage. Kills more Marines as well, and there's just not a whole lot here for UFO. He's got the mules to try and catch up, but he's only on 8 workers versus 18. Ooh, UFO's got a Banshee on the side of the map with no answer either. Cyclone's coming out. That should be enough to take care of this, considering there's no cloak. So as soon as the Cyclone pops, yeah, this will be dealt with. Great damage mitigation here from Jaros. And again, rocking and rolling with a 19-4 worker lead. Jaros going to take a very quick game number 2 to advance on in the Ukrainian Cup. And unfortunately, we're going to be saying goodbye to UFO. That was a lower bracket match. Most of our matches today are going to be lower bracket matches. Give the bracket a moment to refresh. So Damaga went on to face Awers later in the lower bracket round 2, and now we're going to see Jaros move on to Sunset in the lower bracket round 2 as well. I believe coming up, that's going to be Damaga versus Awers. That's going to be an interesting one. Damaga, really solid macro-oriented Zerg player, and as we know from last week, or the last time we casted this anyway, Awers, very well versed in mech tear and plays it in all 3 matchups. So I, for one, will be really interesting to see how that one goes. And we'll have that when we come back from a short break. Damaga versus Awers coming up. Stick around. Welcome back to the Ukrainian Cup presented by Sniper StarCraft League and Hot Headed Gaming. Sorry about the ad break. As always, we run pre-roll ads on this stream to make sure, to make sure that pre-roll ads are disabled for as long as possible. So people just coming into the stream do not have to sit through them before they get into the action. I know as a fan myself, how frustrating it can be for you to finally get home from work or a long day to turn on competitive StarCraft, only to have to wait through 2 minutes of ads at a pivotal game that your friends have been telling you about. So we try to make sure to remove those instances from this stream whenever we can. As we said before the break, we are going to be casting that lore bracket round 2 match. The first one there, Demaga versus Awer, is going to be one of my favorite ones of the day for sure. I'm a little biased, as I am a huge fan of ZVT. Fixing that bracket real quick. I don't know why, but whenever we import the bracket from Wikipedia, it always like randomly throws off. I think it's because we have the man himself, Sniper, doing live updates of the bracket for us. Oh, Mike Stints with the sub.
I'm not done with you yet.
Let's move this alert box because it is not in a great spot. There we go. Maybe that will make that not happen again. Thank you, Mike Stints, for the resub. Mike Stints, longtime supporter of the stream. Probably at this point the longest supporter of the stream. So shout out to Mike. Thank you so much. We are going to be getting into game number 1 of Demaga versus Awer's. It's going to be on Royal Blood. All right, spawning in the upper right for Berserker Esports, he is Demaga. And in the bottom left, the Red Terran, he is Awer's. I see we got to follow as well. You have letters in your name. Mishnek. Thank you for the follow. Not really sure how to pronounce that. Hopefully I did it justice. Appreciate you. And if you are enjoying the coverage of the Ukrainian Cup as well, promise not to shill too much during the stream. But just to follow, you know, is all I ask. If you're enjoying it, allows you to find us as we continue coverage week to week here of the Ukrainian Cup. I think we only have another week or 2 left to go after this. Definitely helps support the stream, and I personally will appreciate it. Nothing out of the ordinary here on Royal Blood. Hatch Gas Pool, Reaper Expand. Hard to pronounce. Yeah, I totally get. I'm gonna go ahead and put that match arena link in the chat, mainly so I can click it and check it out, because I do not have it brought up just yet. I like keeping an eye on the price pool, seeing how it goes up week to week. Currently we're at $891.53. Whoa. We're at 89% of the goal of $1,000. I really feel like we could get there. Like, it looks like you get you contribute 50 cents just for following a Twitter account, and 50 more cents for following that same accounts or subscribing to the same account's YouTube page. So you could get $1 for the prize pool just from following a Twitter account and then subscribing to YouTube. Oop. Drone narrowly saved here. Ares is able to pick up a Zergling. Not terrible. A Zergling and the minerals that you have to use for canceling the spore, but that's about it. Third base did go down without a hitch. Gonna get the tumor. Lost the Reaper for it, but he does kill that tumor. Not sure if that's worth the trade. That Reaper is going to be, you know, future scouting information. It has lived long enough to do most of its job, though. We do see reactor battalions out and about, and usually those are going to be the the creep denial and scouting of choice for Terran players everywhere at this stage of the game. So maybe you won't be hopping up the ramp into the main base to see specific tech structures, but you will, for instance, be able to get like reads on drone counts on the third, maybe clear some creep, see what the queen count is. You know, you are getting some information. You know, as long as we're active on the map with these things. As we've seen with Aors, he's pretty active with Italians, so. Gonna use the area damage of the Hellion, the beam damage, I guess is what it would be called in terms of its shape. Pick off that tumor. He saw it just before it went down, so he knew exactly where he had to aim to get it to, or get to nuke it down. Ooh, nice trap on these Hellions with just 3 Zerglings from Tamaga. Ends up killing them both. Wonder if it's going to be this, the battle mech style. Right now we see just reactor Hellions, but it's going to be a Starport Tech Lab, so I guess I'm assuming it's going to be Banshees with this. Nope, Raven. I was incorrect. But hey, if you really do want to use those Hellions to clear creep, that is a surefire way to get it done. You know, between the games I've cast from Aors in the past and the ones now, one thing I've never seen him do is mass Raven. I'm not saying he never does it, just that I've never seen it. You know, ever since they took away the Seeker missile and then nerfed the damage of the anti-armor missile, mass Raven is not really something that we see anymore. But as I've said before, old builds don't well, this one might not fit that build, but old builds don't get bad, they just get old. You know, people find them out, they start planning for them, they learn proper defenses and stuff. But maybe with the Raven, it's just, yeah, this one's just for creep clearing. Ooh, huge ling run by into the natural. We get 4 SCVs so far. I think they're going to try and get some more. 6 total. Not a bad little pickup. Bolt Viking. Got 2 Overlords so far, it looks like. Looking to get a 3rd. And Hellion Raven, knowing that the Queens will be pulled out of position, looking to clear some tumors. Clearing quite a few tumors, actually. Lings once again in the natural, kill 2 SCVs. Just like small little pockets of Lings like this, the fact they're able to pick off any SCVs at all is pretty crazy given the fact that there's so many Hellions about. But so far so good. No drones lost. 8 SCVs go down. We see Demago with a 10 worker lead. Greedle says, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. I do not recognize your name. Were you called something different back in the day? I know a lot of people have been gone solo. They changed and switched name. Ooh, Lockon does pick off a queen that was in the back line. Largely thinks that scan, keeping that keeping the vision going. Another Ling run by coming around. I think it's crazy he's building the wall this way. There's still a path in this way. Double Liberator harass going around. Here's Magfield. We do have Cyclones coming in now. Additional factors. So this is starting to look a little bit more normal. You know, Battle Mech just with a Raven for some detection. I like the addition of the Raven. I've said it time and time again that not enough Terrans build the one Raven to save scans, right? I didn't think it'd be Aors that actually took me up on it, but you know, I don't hate it. You know? Oh, not if you just lose it like that. He does drop an anti-armor missile at the last second when he's going to be going down. Baneling run by 8 drones have gone down. How many SCVs, though? Cyclone saving the day. Only 3 SCVs go down, but the Biomech army gets trapped on the other side of the map while he was doing the drone, the SCV pull, and Tamaga cleans up the main army, and Awar's just like, nope, not playing that one out. Tamaga takes game number 1. Well then. Tamaga had Awers and me distracted during that Ling run by. We were both looking away just long enough to get that main army trapped and surrounded. And, you know, that's always what you're looking for against the Mech Terran, is anytime you can get a nice surround or a decent trade against that Hellion Cyclone army, that is definitely what you're looking for. And Tamaga created that opportunity and pounced on it immediately. He's going to be up 1-0 as we head into Gressvon for game number 2. I wish there was a way to see previous names in Twitch. Gridlock? Yes. I remember Gridlock. If I remember correctly, Gridlock, you were the one who gave me... I used to eat a lot of Taco Bell back then. I think you joined the stream and hung out because we listened to a lot of the same music. And used to recommend to me different menu items at Taco Bell that I had never tried. And I would go try them. Because there was one that you swore by, I forget what it was, and I'd never tried it. And I was like, you know what? It's actually pretty dang good. And it's been so long ago, I moved across town from where I used to be back then. And I was like, all right, there's a Taco Bell like 2 minutes from my house. I'm so excited. And like a month after we moved here, we bought a house too. So it's not like we could move again. A month after we moved here, they closed that Taco Bell. And the nearest Taco Bell is like 20 minutes from me. Okay, that's an exaggeration. It's like 12. But it's like 24 minutes round trip. Not counting, you know, the drive-through line and everything. So I don't go nearly as often. The Quesarito, yeah, that was it. Yes, I remember Gridlock. I remember that name for sure. All right, enough anecdotes about me. Spawning in the bottom right, the Red Zerg for Berserker. He is Tamaga. And in the upper left, the Blue Terran is Awers. Now, Awers, as we all know, is well known for playing mech in all 3 of his matchups. He's currently 29 years old, representing Harbingers. Approximate total winnings of $1,700. Looks like he saw his most earnings in 2018. At least the most recorded earnings, anyway. Okay. He lost... At some point, he lost the Reaper. We got distracted. You know, it's really hard. I'm a big, like, hang out and stream, hang out and cast guy. If you guys have seen me cast with my co-caster Ward, you guys know that we just clown the whole time, so... I'll try to do better about keeping track as we go through the games. But I really like to hang out and have fun, you know? There are way too many, like, super serious casters here. Or in the scene, at least in my opinion. At the amateur level, that is. I feel like the more well-established premier casters get the clown because they've made it already. Me and Ward actually talked about this off stream a little while ago. The reason that you guys love a lot of the premier casters is because they get to clown and have fun and stuff because they've made it. They're in the big times, quote unquote, at least as far as StarCraft is concerned. Ooh, concussive shells coming out. Hello. Are we going to see some Hellbat Marauder? There's no way. I refuse to believe that we're going to see Hellbat Marauder out of Awers. We'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, a lot of the people who are up and coming, they haven't quite had their big breaks yet. They're like super serious. We have to dress up and make sure to cast the games and do everything perfect and to a T and stuff. And you know, while you get the professionalism down, you don't really put on an enjoyable cast that way. So you gotta thread the needle a little bit, you know, or toe the line. I don't know what cliche is good here, but you want to have a professional looking stream, but you want to have fun while you're casting the games, right? Yeah, I guess it is going to be Hellbat Marauder. There's that armory coming in. Meanwhile, what do we have from Tamaga? There's no Baling Nest. There's no Roach Warren. So it's just going to be Ling Queen. And oh, a heck of a macro game. He's already almost got 3 bases saturated to hold this Hellbat Marauder. And part of me is really worried. There's not a lot of Marauders with this, though. Part of me is worried that this is just going to kill Tamaga outright. It's a lot of Queens, but it's also a lot of DPS. Marauders dropped to the front line. Hellbat's morphing in right at the last second. It's terrible that the medevac went down. One of the Marauders already gone as well. And yeah, I think this held. Losing that medevac was huge. That medevac was going to pay for itself over and over and over again, healing this entire army. And getting it sniped like that because you wanted to drop the Marauders out right in front, I do not think was worthwhile. And now this is just a Ling counterattack, and what's here to defend it? Precious little. Some of the units do get out, but another Marauder goes down. He's still making Marauders? Well, I guess he's not anymore. He is going into Banshees, though. So while it's not looking great for Awers, it's far from over. No scouting in the main base here from Tamaga, so he doesn't know that that's coming. Layer's about to finish. There's exactly 1 Spore Crawler at the 3rd base. Banshee in the natural. Oh, there's another Spore. Here hiding. I don't know if Tamaga... He's building another one. I don't know if he knows that one's there. Roach Warren coming down. 1-1 finished. Looks like he just wants to clear some creep. I'm not sure if he's going to have the time to clear all 3 of these creepers. Nope, not quite. Or Overseer pops in and sees that it is in fact going to be a mech game. It did look a little wonky, you know, at the beginning, the Hellbat Marauder. But I guess it's a relatively low commitment. The only thing that you're getting at that point that you're not going to be using would be the concussive shells upgrade, right? In the mid to late game. So that's a fairly low commitment for your opener. You already need the tech lab for your other structures, and you have to have the barracks anyway. So... there's a Korean Terran who plays Mech a lot versus Zerg lately in a couple of the tournaments that I cast. His name's Han Mono. Oh, 1 Banshee goes down. There's still detection here. Gets both of the Banshees. Huge pickup for Tamaga. Sorry, Han Mono's been doing a style of battle mech that involves Banshees as part of the battle mech army. And he's been making it work for him. Can't complain. I think it'd be interesting to see more people try it. I feel like that would be a pretty cool thing to add to Awers' tool case as well. Can the Lings get around? They are going to trap a couple. Damagi being very patient here with this army, chasing it as long as it stays on creep, and then backing off the second that it's not. Liberator Rash shoot away by Vials and a Spore Crawler. Awer's getting all of these Hellions trapped. 6 workers, 11 workers go down. So it is a bit of a drone barbecue, even without Blue Flame. Blue Flame about 75% done. That Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade. But yeah, Damaga just making all of those workers over again, taking bases. Definitely looking like he knows how to play this style. More workers going down in the main base. I believe there was a Liberator over here. The Spore Crawler killed. Awer sees that this base is going down, but not done yet. I believe he's going to be dropping right over here. Hellions once again being pushed back mid-map. That creep is getting dangerously close to Awer's front door. So he's going to need to be aggressive with this and make sure that it doesn't get spread any further. Yep, Hellbats do come over here. I believe they're going to try to focus on the Spore. No, he's just going to try to get out with most of them. Awer's doing a great job being active out on the map, but here we go. This is the move out. The move out that Lingbane Ravager should struggle with. Plenty of tanks, couple of Thors, Hellbats in the front line. Hellbat count is a little low. We'll see if that ends up being a huge deal. Siege tanks moving up. Oh, we got the Locust coming out though. Locust in the back to chop on these tanks. Perfectly positioned. Beautiful sandwich here out of Damaga. Not dropping all the Locusts at the same time either, so the splash damage is mitigated. And he just collapses on top of this army, removing all but these 3 tanks. All of the Thors. Even splitting the Roaches a little bit against this. Vikings landing to try and defend these tanks, but it's just not going to be enough. And now we have Damaga attacking the 3rd base location of Awer's. I don't think that these Ravagers are going to be able to make it home, but Ling reinforcements join in the fray. They are fighting against some Blue Flame Hellbats. A couple of them get peeled off to take care of this Thor over here. Thors traditionally don't fare very well versus Vikings, and those Ravagers do survive Damaga, taking game number 2 in a convincing fashion. And unfortunately for Awer's, we are going to be saying goodbye to him in this tournament as Damaga moves on in that lower bracket. Looks like Damaga is going to be going on to face Koss in the lower bracket quarterfinals. Not today, but in general. Wow. Damaga putting on a show. You know, Damaga aced his group and then immediately got knocked down to the lower bracket, like right away. But now he's fighting his way through. Doesn't seem to be struggling at all. And I was originally worried for him, but it looks like we're, you know, looks like, we're going to have a fine time. All right, we are going to go to a quick break. When we come back, it is going to be that upper bracket match. Oh, man, this is so funny. Okay, so let's take a look at the bracket before we go to this break. Hopefully it's been updated. Not quite. So Jaros was over UFO at the bottom, and then we have Damaga over Awer's moving on to Koss. But we are in the last match of the night. It is a short cast tonight just to get a little caught up in the bracket, but we're going to Night Phoenix versus Rostock, and it looks like Night Phoenix has noticed the same thing that I did in StarCraft chat. He's joining us as a Ukrainian language caster. He's going to be casting, I'm assuming, from his own channel. I'm going to tell him he can drop it in my chat for any of you Ukrainian viewers that want to watch it cast in your native language. I encourage you to do so. But yes, we only have the one more match. We only have the one more match tonight, and that's going to be Night Phoenix, and he's going to be covering that one game in his own, in his native tongue. So quick 2 minutes worth of ads, just to make sure that we don't have any, ads for people fresh coming into the stream, and then we'll have that upper bracket match, Night Phoenix versus Rostock coming in hot. So stick around. We have one more series left to go at the Ukrainian Cup. We'll be right back. All right, hello and welcome back to the Ukrainian Cup, brought to you by Sniper StarCraft League and Hot Headed Gaming. I went ahead and popped Night Phoenix's Twitch link in chat. He is going to be casting his own games in Ukrainian. So we got that going on. It is going to be Night Phoenix versus Rostock. It is that upper bracket match that was promised, the upper bracket semifinals. Night Phoenix versus Rostock. It's going to be a best of 5 here to end us out on the night. And again, we will be right back here next week, I believe, with more coverage of the Ukrainian Cup. So if you are enjoying the cast, before we get into the last series, please be sure to drop a follow so you can find us back here again when it is time. First match is on Neo Humanity, actually. Not a map that I'm a huge fan of to play on. I'm not really sure how it fares in PvP, but we'll have to see. Spawning in the bottom right, the yellow Protoss player for Hot Headed Gaming. He is Night Phoenix. And in the upper left, the red Protoss, Rostock, presenting Hazard Esports. I said that out of order because the little icon was tough to read from this far away. So far, nothing crazy. we'll take a look at the bracket while we follow this probe around. It looks like Night Phoenix aced his group, winning all 7 matches without dropping a map. Rostock went 6-1, dropping 3 maps. It looks like who did he lose to? Oh, he dropped the map to 2 maps to Kos, losing that series, and then dropped 1 map to Propastrek. Pylon blocking here in the natural of Night Phoenix. Night Phoenix sending these stalkers across the map to see what they can do. These Stalker's not going to be able to do much here. They're drawing 2 adepts, but there is a shield battery here, so I don't think a single unit has gone down. Not even a sentry, though. One of them did get low. So far, it looks like Rostock is going to win the day. Losing a pylon only. That was the one in Night Phoenix's natural. And then killing those 2 adepts of Night Phoenix. Oracle coming down from Night Phoenix. Do we have Stargate here? No, it's Twilight with Blink on the way here from Rostock. Yes, scouted the Stargate, though. We do have a shield battery in the natural, or in the main base, and most of the army in the natural. So the amount of damage this Oracle is going to be able to get done is severely limited. A little bit of misfiker here. Almost didn't pick off that sentry. Ended up losing a stalker for it, but there is a second Oracle joining the fray as well. It's going to mitigate the effectiveness of that shield battery in the main base, but we do see that 2 stalkers are being kept there by Rostock permanently, just in case of that eventuality. Cooling towers being knocked down. I think that's Night Phoenix's way of saying, hey, I want to take a 3rd base. I want to be a little bit safer. If you're going to come over here, I want it to take a little bit longer. Blink on the way for him as well. I know Night Phoenix knows that his initial aggression didn't really find any damage. Not meaningful damage anyway. And yeah. Stasis ward being dropped as well. I wonder if he's really afraid of there being like a counterattack right now. I feel like if you block up this middle path and you able to grab the sensor towers, a little bit more difficult for Toss to do, obviously. But you really have vision coming in every which way. Third base coming down from Rostock. I don't think that Rostock even knows about the cooling towers. It looks like he has seen this side of him. Little Blink Stalker hit squad here out of Night Phoenix. Going to try and see what he can get done. Rostock's Blink is done too, though. So if Night Phoenix has a bit of an overextension, he's not really going to be able to run away effectively as he would like. We'll see. There are still some sentries with this. Looks like a 1-for-1 trade, 2-for-2 trade. 3 workers go down, but he is going to lose an Oracle for it. And yeah, everywhere that Night Phoenix has tried to push and poke, Rostock has just had his number and been ready. He's able to find some damage here and there, but each and every time Rostock's made him pay for it. That fast third base, though, has afforded him a pretty hefty worker lead here. Double Forge coming down. Hallucination able to immediately scout. Fourth base is going to be coming down shortly for Night Phoenix. Night Phoenix once again trying to get fancy with Blink Micro. Or with Blink Aggression, should I say. +2 weapons coming down for Rostock. Double Forge means that 1-1 is going to be finished here for Night Phoenix, so he's behind on upgrades, but only for another 7 seconds or so. Charge coming down for both players. Fourth bases, and we're geared up for a longer game here on. Looks like neither player wanted to mess with the 4 towers. Cooling towers in the middle of the collapsed cooling towers. So yeah, looks like we'll just have the 2 attack paths, the one to the north and the one to the northeast and the one to the southwest here. More Blink Stalker Micro. It is clear Rostock has greater numbers here, so Night Phoenix is going to need to get out as quickly as he can. Huge Stasis Ward. Let's do a quick count. That is 13 Stalkers here. They still have their full vision. They definitely do. They're just like, yeah, these are mine now. I don't think that Rostock is going to let him have them. I think it's going to be a big battle here. Oh, there's another Stasis Ward going down. This is huge. Oh. Hello? In my mind, that should have captured the rest of them, but it did not. It blinks away, leaving those sentries to get annihilated. Fight rages on. Rostock has reinforcements warping in at home, but Night Phoenix has defender's advantage. Blinking back the weakened Stalkers. Taking a much more convincing fight the second time around. Fifth base out here for Rostock, though. I don't know if this sensor tower can see it. Oh, it definitely can. Night Phoenix jumps on it. It was like, there's no way you can keep that. Immortal goes down. We're back down to pure Stalker. A little bit of a run by up here at the top. Rostock going to win that and going to take control of this sensor tower, which seems to be the primary point of contention. Not to be outdone, Night Phoenix sends even more zealots. Somebody gets a pylon. Rostock opting to move his fifth base location to the more centralized one. With the cooling towers down, this feels like a much safer bet to me. Also has the rich Vespine Geyser. Another big fight here on the front. Zealot's going to be out in front tanking for Night Phoenix's Stalkers here. Rostock has some Zealots of his own and ultimately going to be able to push this back. Focusing down on Immortal, and I don't think there's any amount of blink that is going to save Night Phoenix here, but this is a large Zealot run by. Huge warp ins to try and defend this. A Dark Templar. Going to show the DT tech a little bit early. Unsure if he's going to be able to hold that otherwise. It's going to shove this entire pushback. Meanwhile, Night Phoenix has another group of Stalkers. So there's going to be 7 there, trapped in a stasis ward. This Zealot DT counterattack going to hit the freshly finished 5th base. Everything being under construction is canceled. And even with the run by it, it's not going to be enough to deflect the DTs. Well, there is an observer, but it's just too much. Too much damage. Zealots are great, but the per shot damage for DTs is just insane. Green beam ultimately going to shove it away. There's only the 1 cannon there. Rostock rock and rolling on his 5th base, starting to mine from it as well. 5th base from Night Phoenix. Didn't even get a chance to start mining before it was taken down. And it doesn't look like it's going to be retaken anytime soon. Night Phoenix somewhat on the back foot here. He does finally retake that 5th base. It is going to be at the same spot that Rostock took his, realizing that's going to be a little easier to defend. But once again, gets canceled. Night Phoenix is trying what he can to develop an economy. Huge snipes are going down on these disruptors. They don't get a single shot off. DT's joining this army on the front lines, allowing it to pack an even greater punch. The detection is powered down here as well, so there's no detection. Here it is flying in finally for Night Phoenix. Looks like he's just barely going to have enough to clean this up. Zealots saving the day, but now before 19 workers go down, a lot of those melee units hung out back here in the mineral line. And we're just decimating that the economy here of Night Phoenix. Who now trails by 18 workers. He does have a huge army supply lead though after taking a pretty convincing fight. I would like to see him leverage that into some damage of his own across the map. Is opting for a 6th base as well. I guess this is one of those, I figure one of these has to go up, right? One of these bases won't get canceled. The other one might. But if I get both of them, cool. Huge disruptor shot, heals off quite a few zealots. Huge fights going on. DT's at that base. Main army fight as well. Disruptor balls going down. And yet, Night Phoenix struggling to put out fires here. These DT's putting in mad work. Finally, some detection over here. And a surround from these zealots are going to be able to end the reign of terror up to the north. But once again, Disruptor's coming in. Luckily, Blink was off cooldown. He's able to get away in the nick of time. Rostock looking to press the issue here. He is up against Disruptors, but it looks like he has superior numbers for the time being. Huge run by force to the north. I don't dare take our eyes away from the action, though. Main army fight here. Night Phoenix effectively fighting through a choke between his own base and that wall. Run by is purely Zealot's going to chase that away. Ooh, Blink forward and taking down a Disruptor. Bold move. Had there been other Disruptor shots ready to go, that aggressive Blink, he could have really ended up paying for that. Currently, he does lose the space, though, unable to defend it, and he's going to lose the Zealot battle there as well. So that's a whole warp and cycle of reinforcements that gets taken out by this run by as well. But it's like I said, one of these bases has got to get up, and one of them did. One of them did. And this one's fully mining now. So Night Phoenix has an okay kind of aggressive blink forward. Is going to kill all of the disruptors. Zealot's going to come in here and try to equalize this fight as best they can. GG is called. Rostock is going to take game number 1. So, like I said earlier, I cast some Night Phoenix games in another tournament that I cover here on this stream called the OSC Elite Rising Star that is live every Wednesday. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, I had him pegged as one of the people who was likely to win the whole dang thing. We pop over to the bracket. I think it was going to be for me between Night Phoenix or Hellraiser, but Rostock here showing that he's no slouch. He lost only to Cost so far, and now he's up 1-0 versus Night Phoenix. So like he's one of many unknowns in this tournament for me. A lot of these players are going to be brand new to me. But yeah, taking an early lead versus Night Phoenix. Game number 2 is going to be on Ancient Cistern. Again, Rostock is one of those players that does not have a Wikipedia page. So even on top of the fact that I don't know a lot about on top of the fact that I don't know anything about Rostock, I cannot lean on Wikipedia to give me any sort of information. Not like I can with Night Phoenix, my Ukrainian silent co-caster. So he's in the lobbies with me casting the replays, right? But we're not on comms right now, and he's casting in Ukrainian to his audience. But yeah, I know a little bit about Night Phoenix. I've been casting his games, so I'm able to tell you the Night Phoenix is 17, youngin, big youngin. Plays for Hot Headed Gaming. If you've been following his career for some time, you may have known him as Sly Crab, which is his alternate ID, the one that he's on right now. Approximate total winnings just shy of $3,000. I anticipate that going up very quickly. And recently had a pretty big result on March the 3rd in his Big Brain Bouts match number 3, where he took out Hate Me, winning himself $100. All right, map number 2 finds us on Ancient Cistern. Here's what the players have in store for us here on game number 2. Neo Humanity, of course, the one unique map of the pool. That was last map. Every map pool has that one unique map. You know what I'm talking about. Maps like Daeson Station, or to bring it back even further, Alrena, or Catalina, the three spawn map. Which, by the way, I thought was a very cool gimmick. I think that we need to bring in more respawn maps, with triangular symmetry. Those were a lot of fun to me. That particular map was not great for Reapers, but still a lot of fun. All right, sorry about that. As I said earlier, I'm getting over a cold. I'm still not completely out of the woods yet, and I do not have a co-caster for today's shindig. So unfortunately, is this blocking? No, there's no way. Nah, not a chance. This one definitely is blocking, though. That's beyond a shadow of a doubt. But I'm just getting over a cold, so if you ever hear breaks in the commentary, that is likely why. But we're making it work. I knew today would be a relatively short one. Nope, just on the edge. But like Rostock, no way that he didn't know that. That's so many attacks. Okay, so we do have the probe here ready to go. He also has 2 sentries. I like that he's keeping these on the high ground because sentries do have that light tag. Adepts get bonus damage versus light targets, and they just make really fast work of sentries, those poor things. Also worth noting, for anybody who doesn't, I don't know who wouldn't know by this point, the sentry force fields, the adept shades can phase right through them. Ooh, the adept shade in. Everything got pulled away. We're gonna have adepts right on. Ooh, he cancels the shade here. He's gonna get the pylon. And yeah, Knife Phoenix just has control of this game right now. More adepts being built. I don't think that he'll complete the shade either. But the nature of the beast is the main army almost cannot leave, right? Because the second that they do, and then adept shades down, or the adept shade's complete, there's nothing here to defend, right? If he's going to come down here, he needs to have this ready to go building. Yep, that's exactly how you have to do it. But there's almost too much stuff here with the adepts. I imagine he's going to let him finish. These are going to help, or the oracles are going to help lay down an extra bit of needed DPS here to turn the tides of this battle. And once again, yeah, he's just chipping away at the natural. As we see over here at this side of the map, it's not even a dedicated like one base push like you'd expect to have this many units. It's just the adepts are so much cheaper, and the Nexus goes down. Night Phoenix is going to go home. He's just done enough damage at this point. And he's like, okay, I'm mining off of my second base. You don't even have a second base. And Rostock is just abysmally far behind at this point. Like, his blink is about to finish. That's going to be his biggest tech advantage. But he's going to have some really fancy footwork if he expects for blink alone to put him back into this game. Because he's not just going to be able to sit back on his haunches and macro out of this. Not if he knows that his opponent has a natural base up, which he does. And I'm sure he can assume that it's been getting droned as well. Most of the standing army from Night Phoenix survives. We'll look at resources lost. 1 Stalker and 1 Probe. The 4 Stalkers, 3 Sentries, a Nexus, and 2 Pylons. So this game has just been going nigh on perfect here from Night Phoenix. He drops a stasis ward just in case. And the adepts are moving out. They don't even really need to, in my opinion. Like, you've got enough done. The one person who can afford to sit back on their haunches is Night Phoenix. But I feel like, I guess he feels like he's got enough at home that he can defend against Stalker aggression. And the adepts will punish any move out that there happens to be, you know? Looks like he's going to try to focus down what he can. He's going to lose a couple of these adepts. But the threat of them should be enough to keep Rostock at home, or at least keep him honest, you know? There are 3 Stalkers in the main base, 2 warping in the natural. That should be enough. Night Phoenix. Blink is finished. Night Phoenix looking to be aggressive, and that is just the game. Night Phoenix turning the series right back around here in game number 2 without hesitation. Very, very convincing victory. Night Phoenix going with just a little bit more aggression than what's considered normal normal PvP openers, but it was just enough to turn the tides. Rostock kind of got caught unaware, you know? Didn't seem like he had the tools to defend, and just reacted a little bit too late. I feel like he needed to get down that ramp before Night Phoenix had the volume of units that he did, but I guess, you know, that maybe the moment was never right. Maybe he felt like he had the overwhelming forces he needed to take the fight, and then ultimately when he did, it didn't work out in his favor at all. Game 3 is going to see us on Royal Blood. We're going to get right into the action without delay. Sorry, I probably had that as best of 3 up there. It is a best of 5, in fact. So if you guys have been reading the score down here, it is 1-1 and a best of 5. Spawning on the bottom left of Royal Blood for Hot-Headed Gaming, he is Night Phoenix. And in the upper right, the red Protoss for Hazard Esports, he is Rostock. Pretty similar builds here. Night Phoenix probe in. Let's see what he can see. Rostock with a proxy pylon. So he gets built out of this. Based on its location, I'm going to assume it's got to be a Stargate, right? Could be a Robo, but it's not the best. Okay. Take it all back. Gateway. Oh, this might be like 3-gate blink on one base. Maybe. All right, we'll see. Pylon block goes down from Night Phoenix to the natural. Scouting probe gets knocked out before it can get too deep into the main base. Once this goes down, I wonder if the 3rd gate, is it going to be enough? Turn the tides here. Night Phoenix already looking to be aggressive, though. Bit of a skirmish here at the front. Night Phoenix takes the better end of that trade, killing 2 for 1. As he's doing a little 3 gates of his own. This one has a Robo though, with a prism in it to allow for juggling and aggressive warpins as well. Recalls doesn't save that first Stalker, but it is going to get the rest of them out. And I think maybe this might tip off Night Phoenix as to what exactly is going on here. Warp gate is started, but it looks like these Stalkers from Night Phoenix are on pace to find this. This would be a huge pick. Yeah, he finds it mid-map. What's there to defend home if he depowers this and he's able to get home? There is recall on these Force too. Those sentries, those saving the day for sure. There's no blink again. Rostock does not have a Robo, but he does go ahead and transition into another base. Rostock busy looking for that Force that powered down that Nexus. Unfortunately, not going to find it. Night Phoenix looking to be aggressive. He's got an Immortal with his force now. Sentry's an aggressive orbs. He's still on one base here. A lot of Rostock's forces are not quite back at home to defend against this, and they just do not have the same ability. Sentry force field is gonna splinter this force right here. Another aggressive warp in of another sentry. Yeah, he's just gonna push in. Is Rostock? Yeah, Rostock looks like he wants to. Yeah, things are just not going great for him this game. He's still got units across the map, but he's unable to defend here at the front. And also, like, once again, Night Phoenix just gonna go for the Nexus kill. Rostock gonna figure out that he can't really do anything on the other end. And Night Phoenix is heading up the ramp into the main base. He's juggle that Immortal or he's going to lose it. Does lose it. Probes are being pulled there on the other end. 13 probes for Rostock have gone down, but this Immortal should be enough to hold even if everything else falls. And Night Phoenix defending flawlessly on the other side of the map, not dropping a probe, and is able to seize the day over here on this side as well. No focus fire on this Immortal. Finally, it's being focus fired now, but I just do not think there's the appropriate amount of DPS to do anything about it. With the prison juggling, going to be more than enough. GG is called. Night Phoenix takes another quick game, putting him up 2-1 in this best of 5 series. Well, I guess I spoke too soon on Rostock. He came out with a quick 1-2 punch at the beginning of this bout, but Night Phoenix has them on the ropes. Let's see if we can get a few more punches in under the bell. You're just joining us, of course. We are in that upper bracket semifinals match, number 2, Night Phoenix versus Rostock. The winner goes on to the upper bracket final versus DXRacer. It's going to be another PvP. It looks like a lot of Protoss here. Koss and Damaga, of course, going to be my likelies to be seen again, but they're already meeting again in the lower bracket. So we'll have to see how that goes. Awers is gone on the Terran front. Some weird stuff was happening with the bracket. I wanted to go ahead and get that taken care of. Sorry. I am doing the whole show here today, all by my lonesome, production, observing, casting, and stuff like that. So we do have moments where we got to make sure that everything is going through as smoothly as possible. But we are going to be getting into game number 4 on Argentium. Sorry, when it's always interesting to me because when the replays are made, when the games are played and the replay is sent from somebody whose client is in a different language, that different language gets exported over with the replay. So, all right, it is Babylon though. Let's go ahead and get into it. Looks like a little bit of banter going on. One second, I have to get some hush. Ooh, I tell you, one thing they don't advertise on those commercials for Roombas is how loud they are. All right, spawning in the bottom right for Hazard Esports, the red Protoss, he is Rostock. Sitting on match point here in this upper bracket semifinal For Hot-Headed Gaming, the yellow Protoss, he is Night Phoenix. Oh, I thought this probe walked around this side and then just poofed. I didn't realize he popped into the assimilator for a second. I was just like, where did he go? Recovered from replay. Okay, yeah, I guess somebody had some power issues or something like that. Rostock with a double sentry. Oh, look, Bob Toss. A little spray going on there. Missed that earlier. Rostock once again going with the pylon to block the natural. It's always interesting to me. I'm assuming it's to see these first two units come out, because even if you don't let it complete, these first two units have a vested interest in nuking it down as fast as possible, so that natural expansion can be taken. Rostock does see that it's two adepts. Two more adepts are to follow. I wonder if he knows that this is going to be similar build to the one that killed him in game number 2. We saw Night Phoenix go for a bunch of adepts, get his natural up, and then just keep pumping units. I think the adepts are to save the gas and the minerals for the Stargate behind everything. So you can kind of diversify, right? So your army loses beefiness because you're not so stalker heavy, but you're able to get your natural. You're able to get a tech structure in that Stargate and get Stargate units pumping. But Rostock sees what it is, and he's going to try to take advantage of the, I guess, the previous knowledge of how he lost the last game here. He's going to try to kill yet another adept. Ends up missing it, and that shade completes, but he knows that shade went forward. Ends up recalling the adepts anyway, because he's going to need them to defend back home. Like we said, Rostock knows that army's not going to be as beefy as it needs to be, so he sends it across the map. Kills what he can kill, recalls back home. He's going to end up losing a stalker for it. Not sure if that was exactly worth the trade, but it got the job done. My main concern at this point is that Rostock does not know about the Stargate. It is a Void Ray first. Doesn't seem like it's going to be a terrible deal. Another probe hiding back there. You can almost not see him. There we go. Void Ray as well. Looks like it's going to get focused down, but not before laying down some pretty healthy DPS. Rostock, though, still wanting to push the issue. I don't think he's having the best trades with this. I'll have to peek after we see how this goes. What tech structure did we choose? It's going to be yet another gateway. This is just going to be for aggressive warbins and nothing else. We already have the natural base down here from Rostock, so looks like he's intending at least to go into a macro game. Even if he is going to be a little aggressive initially. Blink is on the way. Sorry, about to complete here from Rostock. I really don't think that Stargate is going to be scaring Rostock much. We saw that it was a Void Ray that got killed. There is a shield battery in the natural. Once again with the Adepts and a Night Phoenix, they're just not going to be enough here to give this army the beefiness. But it looks like he's phasing them out. You know, I would be surprised if we saw any more get made from this point forward. Robo coming down from Rostock, so looking to get into a somewhat more technical army, or at least just a prism, so we can be very aggressive with these warpins. Gonna try and push up this ramp, but it is gonna be into a concave with defender's advantage. But yeah, still trying to trade out with Blink. Once again, yeah, this armor's gonna be chased down. Take a look at the losses so far. It's actually fairly even here. Night Phoenix has held his own, but he's lost quite a few units to do so. Dark Shrine coming down from Rostock. Night Phoenix has an Oracle complete, but doesn't have a Robo himself, so it's gonna be his only form of detection here as these first DTs make their way across the map, unless he's able to get a hallucination or an Adept Shade in to scout it. It is currently all the way in the back of the main base, though. Odds that an Adept Shade will get there, not great. And I don't think we have a single sentry either. So there's no sentries either. So the likelihood that these initial DTs go completely unscouted is very high. Adepts coming in. Orphans to try and stop it. They are going to get into the main base, but I don't think that the probe damage will be particularly significant. Yeah, one probe goes down. But it pulls enough of the army out that Night Phoenix feels comfortable shading in. Dark Shrine of Night Phoenix coming down on as well. So it's going to be DTs versus DTs. We haven't seen any warped in, though, from Rostock. His Shrine's been done for a while. There we go. I don't know where it's warping in at. Can't even click them on the production tab. That's how cloaked they are. Usually when you click a warping in unit, it just flicks to it. But there it is. Yeah, I could have guessed. A couple different ones warping in too. So there's one in the natural, one heading into the main, and a latecomer heading towards the third base location. Rostock here pressuring the third base of Night Phoenix. Looks like he has greater numbers. Not willing to push the issue, though. Numbers are really close here. Another DT joining the fray. Robo is still not done. I feel like if he threw a DT in here, like on a whim, like with the main army, there's another one at the third base. Rostock's got +1 coming down. An observer of his own. These are going to be the first TTs out of Night Phoenix, I believe. And yeah, he definitely has some work to do to catch up on that worker killed count. Despite all his damage, though, Rostock only up by 5 workers. There is an observer already out. So Night Phoenix's DTs aren't really going to get done what he would like for them to. Charge coming down from Rostock. Yeah, it looks like we're transitioning into a fairly normal mid-game with both players relatively even on workers. Night Phoenix enjoying a pretty hefty army lead. Pure Blink Stalker, though, with this. Here, Observers and an Immortal. That Immortal is so late to the fight over here, though. +1 weapons coming down for Night Phoenix. It's going to be trailing Rostock's upgrades by quite a bit. It's amazing to me that Night Phoenix still has not discovered this proxy location. Okay, Phoenix pushing the issue. Picks up a sentry. Gonna head back. Is this the moment? Oh, maybe not. So not only are these rocks, but there's grass growing through them too, which count as vision blockers. There he goes. He sees it now, finally. He was forced to retreat at an awkward angle, and that was enough for him to pick it off. That's one less gateway for Rostock. A little bit less map presence as well. Rostock looking to be on the aggressive. He's currently supply blocked at 106. He's now down 4 workers somehow. Night Phoenix about to finish taking his 4th base behind this. Like, I'm going to be out on the map. I'm going to be increasing my economy behind it. So Rostock had this lead, but he had to catch up an army supply and just ended up falling behind on economy. Archon's morphing in, but they're in the back. They're not in this fight. They're not going to be long for this fight either. Finally making it to the front, and as Night Phoenix is deciding that he wants to back off. DT's just joining the army. It's revelated, and they are 2 or 3 stalkers right off the bat, and they're going to join up with the main army to take the rest of that fight. Yeah, I believe that this is the beginning of the end here for Rostock. We no longer see any blink micro. Well, Rostock's army was completely evaporated there in that battle. Just the fresh warp and the stalkers here at home to defend. He's going to have 1 green beam. Yeah, 1 green beam and a dream here. And DT is going to harass this fresh 4th base. Instantly gets canceled. All the while, Night Phoenix pushing in on with this main army at the other side. 2 DTs and a dream, though, heading across from Rostock. We'll keep a close eye on that worker kill count. Stasis Ward, double Stasis Trap gets basically the entire army here for Rostock. That is 3, 6, 10 stalkers in total. One of the DCs does get picked off. The other one going all the way into the main base, it seems. Night Phoenix once again trying to push down. Rostock forcing the issue. He's like, I got some charge lots. I need you off my back. So I get some room to breathe. He's already retaken that 4th base. Even though he's on the aggressive and Night Phoenix is running away, it just feels like Night Phoenix has greater numbers here. It's interesting that he made that decision to retreat. I think he just revelated the army and saw that. And decided, oh no, I'm definitely pushing this. But, I mean, now the opportunity is almost gone. You know, Rostock has reinforcements, but Night Phoenix has reinforcements of his own. A really scrappy gateway unit fight here mid-map. Both players on +1 attack. But Night Phoenix, though, he's got 12 additional workers. His 4th base has been mining for some time. And hefty army supply lead. 56 to 26 in army supply alone. Fifth base coming down for Night Phoenix at a time when the 4th base for Rostock is only just now powering up. Yeah, Night Phoenix just has a firm command on the economy here on Babylon. Army supply still dwarfs that of his opponent. GG is called as there is a huge warp in of stalkers in the main base that he is just completely unprepared to defend. This is what we missed. This was the GG catalyst right here. DT is joining this fray as well. Just add a little bit of complexity to the response there. And Night Phoenix is going to take the series 3-1 over Rostock to move on to that upper bracket final versus Hellraiser. So Night Phoenix has just got to beat Hellraiser, and then he's on to the grand final of this tournament. But Hellraiser's no slouch, as we've seen. Hellraiser has yet to drop a map this entire tournament. He did not drop a map in any of his groups. Let's take a look. Yeah, went 6-0 in matches, 12-0 in games in groups. Then we saw Hellraiser defeat Sunset 3-0 or 2-0, sorry, and Kaz 3-0. That is going to do it here for us today for our coverage of the Ukrainian Cup. Please be sure to tune in next week for further coverage of the Ukrainian Cup as we watch it draw ever nearer to its exciting conclusion. Which one of these players is going to take home the lion's share of the currently $891.53 prize pool? Best way to find out is to come back right here. So be sure to follow the stream if you're enjoying the coverage. Make sure you come back. We would love to see you here. For those of you who stuck around to the end, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.
Oh man, what is this?